Josh Parker here with head Lady Cougars basketball coach Brad Honeycutt here as we enter the 2020-21 basketball season. Brad, we've made it through another off season, and with all the challenges, we're just days away from tip-off. Give us a little overview of the Lady Cougar basketball team this year.
Well, I hate to say it, but we're all kind of getting healthy. We've had a few minor injuries here and there, but right now we're mainly focused. You can't do a whole lot this time of year until November 2nd, so right now we're mainly focusing on our conditioning. Where we had, a very, very odd last, 4, 5, 6 months. We're just trying to get girls back into, shape, mainly, to prevent future injuries and all that. So that's what we're mainly focusing on right now. We're probably, without a doubt, we're having more intense conditioning workouts than we've had in the 7 years I've been here. So we plan to come in shape, and, given the skill set that we have, we've got some girls right now that like to get up and down the court and run, and that's kind of what we're going to focus on, and we're trying to get them in shape so we can do that.
Brad, would it be safe to say that this year may be more of a guard-oriented team than maybe the last couple of years in the past, maybe more emphasis on the guard position and outside on the perimeter?
Oh, absolutely. And, it's funny, we were taking our yearbook photos the other day, and we lined them up, tallest to shortest, and we've got about 6 girls that are going to get to play, probably 7 girls. 7 of the girls that are going to get to play a lot are basically the exact same height. So, I've heard it say before, size is overrated. Small ball is a lot of fun to coach. There's a lot of advantages to it. It's size in basketball anymore, the way it's played, sizes and everything. It's so much more of a full court game.
Well, you see those single A and double A teams, they don't have a kid over 5'6", 5'7" hardly, and then they make their runs every year.
Absolutely. And I can say it both ways, which we have had Madison the last 4 years. But plenty of times we've been whipped, and whether it be a summer scrimmage or whatever, by a team that doesn't have a player even 6 feet tall. If you know how to play the game and you play it fast and you play it, in a physical way, then you can be successful, and that's what we're going to have to do in order to be successful.
Got some new faces on the team this year. I know Keely Nelson's back out for her senior year this year. Kind of talk about some of the new faces and some the returning members on the team this year.
Well, when you're talking about new faces, Keely being a senior, Keely's back in. And, Keely played her freshman year, tried to, and got hurt, unfortunately. So she wanted to come back out and give it a try her senior, which, Keely, anybody who's seen Keely play soccer, she's one of the best girl athletes in the whole school. She's just a phenomenal athlete, a good kid, and we're definitely going to give her a shot, and we think she's coming in from soccer in pretty good shape too. So we're going to have to hang our hat on defense, and we think that's something, Keely being new, that she can come in and help us with, especially on the defensive end. And then as far as returning girls go, obviously we lost 3 seniors last year with Madison Brady, Emily Ellison, and Macy Monday, but we do return some familiar faces. Of course, Kaylee Jordan's coming back. Carly Walp, who was hurt the entire season last year, real athletic senior as well. She'll be back. As far as the seniors go, we're going to have 5 seniors. Megan Asher, coming from soccer. Megan's going to she's a defensive specialist, just really high basketball IQ. And Alyssa Brown, who's already committed to Maine Maritime. She's, we're going to depend on her a lot too. She's got a lot of savvy on the court, and she's got quick hands, and we're going to depend on her. As far as the younger kids go, we got Bailey Gillum, who's a junior, and Cora Browning, who's a junior, and Erica Brock, who are all 3 juniors. So we're going to depend on our 3 juniors a lot. Of those 2, Cora started pretty much every game for us last year, and Bailey started a ton of games for us last year. So they just bring a ton of injury, and I think people are going to like the way Erica Brock plays as well.
Almost like a roller coaster. Several seniors, a few juniors, and it looks like we're back on the several seniors this year. And then you also got some freshman talent coming up too that's fed up from the middle schools this year. Yeah,
we have. We've been. Of course, they've had. Good. Jacksonville had a great year last year, and we've received some girls from there. We think that Izzy Prophet's going to give us some really good minutes. She's came extremely in shape. She's about as well as a conditioned athlete I've ever had. She works relentlessly. So we're gonna expect expect her to contribute early. And we got some. We're fully confident that we've got some other girls that are going to, surprise us and step up as the season goes on. But we've had a few injuries here and there, and we think once a few girls get recovered fully, that they might contribute as well.
Give us an overview of the district this year, Brad. Who lost, who might be up, who might be down. Might be some surprises for folks listening.
There's going to be some new teams that are going to be contenders. Of course, last year the season didn't end the way we wanted to. That was a disappointment, losing to Halls in the district tournament. But Halls returns everybody, and they were playing really well at the end of the year last year. They returned every kid on that roster. Clinton pretty much returns everybody that contributed, and then so they're both going to be very much improved. And then you've got, of course, Oak Ridge and Powell, who return. They're probably their two best players, so they're going to be experienced, and we know how Powell's going to play. They're real loose, get up and down the court. They got the green light every time down the court. Then Oak Ridge, they're just going to lock down defensively on you, and they're going to get up and down the court. So, but as far as new, there's going to be some new teams. Carnes has had a really good middle school girls team for the last few years. He was able to keep most of those kids, so they're going to have a really good freshman class. So it's going to look different this year for sure.
Brad, it looks like we made it through football season, fortunately. What kind of message do you send these athletes, given the last 7 months we've had with COVID and everything, and about how don't take anything for granted, and how, luckily we were just able to get basketball in last year. Like, what's kind of – like you try to use that as a motivation force, like, hey, on any given night, we better not leave anything on the floor, or we better leave it all on the floor, because it just feels like it could be taken away any second. It
could, and I hope we don't run into this, but you never. I think it speaks to a lot, and I know football's had to deal with this some too. You never know when a kid's going to get sick, or the contact tracing and all that. You never know when your number's going to get called. You may be literally on a Tuesday night, have been playing a role for the last 3 weeks, 7-8 minutes a game, and all of a sudden you're starting Friday night against Powell because, something's gone wrong. So I think from that standpoint, every kid we got 15 kids right now. Every kid we have, 1 through 15, needs to be ready. They need to know every set we're running. They need to know every game plan, because you literally never know. It just happened with Fulton football. You never know the next day. When your team's going to change, and we just got to be ready to go. Last year, it wasn't due to COVID, obviously, during the season, but we had some injuries. And I think for some girls, here they were playing, scout team in practice on Monday night. Tuesday night, they're starting against Halls because we lose, Emily, and lose this girl's sick, this girl's hurt and can't play. So I hope that last year taught them a little bit of a lesson, too, that they better always be ready, because you never know when your number's going to get called.
Do you think basketball especially is a little more vulnerable because you do have 2 or 3 games a week at different schools, and whereas football is once a week, sure, there's a lot more players on both sides, but basketball, you're on, 2 or 3 games a week. Does it kind of weigh on you and kind of keep you up at night when trying to plan for the season?
It does. And you pay a little bit. I mean, you want to always have your kids ready, but you do put a little more emphasis on having more kids ready. I'm talking kids that aren't even dressing varsity full time. They've got to know every set we're running. They've got to be up to speed on what we're wanting to run defensively, because with 30 games, chances are something's going to go wrong in 30 games. It's going to be I'll be very surprised, and I hope it happens because we're going to be careful, but I'd be very surprised if we had every player for every game this year. And, at some point in time, it's probably going to affect us. It already has. With some of our players getting quarantined due to, contact tracing. Just thank goodness it's happened before the season started. So hopefully none of that goes on once the season gets here.
And of course, as far as safety procedures, you're doing temperature checks before every practice, sanitizing everything. So, the checks are there, the controls are there. It's just kind of the wild cards that kind of leave you vulnerable.
Yeah, you never know. And you hear people all the time saying, well, I got it, but I have no idea where I even went to catch it. So I know our girls are going to be very cautious now and during the season, that they kind of just do what they can do on their end. And then, of course, on our end, when they're at the gym, we're going to have to do what we can do. Basketball obviously is a contact sport, so they're going to be around each other, and they're going to, be close to one another. But we're going to do everything we can to be safe.
Now, as far as what fans may be able to expect this year, we understand Knox County is meeting on the 27th. of this month to kind of set their protocols, and that should give us a pretty good, I guess, the contours of general rules and guidelines. So I guess we'll wait and see kind of how that all shakes out, and then I assume you, the coaching and athletic directors, will get together and kind of have some uniformity around the district.
Yeah, we will. And since I guess in our district we have 8 teams, what if my math's correct? We got 4 that are in Knox County and 4 that are out of Knox County. Yeah. So we've got to have a policy that goes along with what Knox County's policy is. It's just that's the majority of our teams are in Knox County. So we're going to wait and see what they, on the 27th, see what they kind of decide as far as guidelines go, to where if you've got so many kids out for this reason or that reason. And there's a lot of layers to it. I mean, what if a girls' team's out but a boys' team's okay? Do we cancel the girls' game that night? You know, that's just it. There's a lot of layers to it, but we need to have something uniform, and I think that our athletic directors in the district will come together and we'll come up with a fair plan and a good plan, and we just want to get a season in.
How's that hot seat looking with the athletic director sitting 2 seats down from you on the bench this year?
Listen, like you said, throughout the week, he's my boss, and he was on the bench, I'm his boss. So wow. I don't know about that.
Can't wait to share that around with everybody.
No, we're extremely happy for Coach Browning, becoming the new athletic director. He's going to do a great job, we know, and Sherry did a great job, and but we're excited for Coach Browning to get his chance. And that aside, he's a great basketball mind. I've got great basketball minds all on my bench, all 4 of us. Well, I should say my 3 assistants. I just kind of do what I'm told, but I've just got a great staff. I couldn't be more. I'm just blessed to have the staff that I have, and of course Browning being one of those. But yeah, I'll have the boss man sitting right behind me every game, so I better not mess up.
If you think about it, the last 2 athletic directors have come from the girls basketball program. I mean, I think that speaks to kind of the programs that Sherry ran and that Ryan ran and that you're running right now.
I agree. That's pretty neat. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but they have, and like I said, Sherry did a great job. She hired me, and I'm forever grateful to her for
Don't
that.
Tell her I said this, but she did do a great job.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the best hires. No, I'm just kidding. No, she's made some great hires here, and of course, we brought Ernie Mack in here and Brandon, and I think they're going to.
How's that working relationship been? Mine's been a lot better.
Yeah. No, it's been great. They're just 2 class acts, Ernie Mack and Brandon, his brother. They're going to be a lot of fun to work with, and like I said, they've bent over backwards to accommodate for me, and I'm going to try to do the same for them. So, I think it's going to, on that note, I think the boys are going to be a lot of fun to watch this year, and we think if people come, on a Friday night or a Tuesday night or whatever to watch us play, I think they're going to get to see 2 really fun games, because I know we're going to play at a style and a pace that's fun for the crowd to watch, and I know the boys will do the same.
Brad, thanks for your time today. Excited to catch up with you. Excited to be back on the air this year as well, and looking forward to following you in the 2021 season this year.
Hey, we're glad to have you back, and we didn't know if we were going to have a season. Every football game that happens, it looks better for us, but we appreciate WLAF and all y'all's coverage, and again, please, if they allow, fans in and however they end up doing that, please come out and watch us. And if you can't watch us, tune into WLAF on YouTube or Facebook and watch us on there. Thank you, guys.
I promise I'll put on a show.
All right.
If you can't, I'll put on a show.
If our game's boring, Josh won't be. So
that's head coach Brad Honeycutt here previewing the Lady Cougars 2021 basketball season here exclusively on your home for Campbell County Sports, WLAF 1450, WLAF.com.